Good morning, good morning. This is the Straight Talk Morning Show, and this is Andre Hill, and I have a special guest in here today, Brenda Allen, the president of Urban Progress Alliance. UPA used to be my job. I got pushed out, so we got the women is in charge. The women are taking over because the men, black men, we still pondering among each other. We still trying to figure out who's going to be in charge, who's going to get all the credit. And I promise you, if you stick with that agenda, you're going to die, because this is the end game. And this is what I posted on the show. I posted it last week, and that show, it didn't happen, but it's happening this week. So how did it go? It says, good evening, Facebook friends. The pimps of white supremacy, I had in parentheses, no such thing, because there's no such thing as some white people being supreme. That's an illusion. Has pulled the trigger to the end game. So everybody's sitting around wondering, oh, what's going to happen next? When the coronavirus going to go away? It's not going away. This is the first step of what we refer to as soft martial law. And then if we keep going along with this nonsense, then it goes into hard martial law. And that means that all your rights will be taken away, because these small little 1%ers that are mentally deranged, psychotic maniacs, they have no choice but to do this, because the illusion of white supremacy is dissipating. All right. And even Caucasian people going like, you know what? This is some bull crap. I bought into some bull crap. Now they are working towards getting an agenda, or working with an agenda where they can become human beings of planet Earth. And black people, you're the original people on this planet. So you've been kicked in the butt. You've been pushed to the back of the line. Now you're at the very end of the line. And so it's time for you to come to the front of the line and take charge of your destiny. Take charge of your family's destiny. Take charge of your community destiny. Take charge of planet Earth's destiny. Did that come out right? I'm talking too fast. Yeah. So we have Brenda in here today because Brenda's going to talk about Urban Progress Alliance, some of the things that we're working on, and the concept that we're working on. She's going to elaborate on that, and just give her 2 more seconds. I'm going to talk about what else I posted. So I did say, if you want to know how to survive the end game, to tune into the show. And so one of the things that we're suggesting is you join up with UPA, all my black brothers, okay, first. All of you that still are sitting around wondering what should you do, sitting around philosophizing about, well, the coronavirus, this and that. Okay, it's time to stop the philosophy and philosophizing. It's time to come together. Stop. There's no new Martin Luther King. There's no new Malcolm X that's going to be the one leader that's going to save this planet. It is a collective effort. And if we do it that way, you don't have to sell your soul. Now, we have a situation right now we're dealing with. We have 2 options. We can go into these agents that's holding on to our property and say, hey, man, I'll be a good house Negro or a sellout if you give me a favor and let me get this property. That's not the way to go. If you do that, they own you, and anytime you try to free yourself or do right by your community, they can shut you down. But if you go in and do it as a collective, we can make a difference. So we need people to sign up, go to upall.com. Just send a message, tell them you ready to join the forces. Let us know what sort of resources you have, what sort of skills you have. And even if you don't have any resources, if you don't have any skills, you were created by the Most High. So you have a skill and you just don't know what it is. We at UPA, we have that formula to help you to find that skill. Just your name, just the fact that you exist is an asset. So you got to hook up with us. So when we go and negotiate with the city, the state, D.C., when we show we have numbers, then they will listen. If we just go in there and say, well, it ain't but 5 or 10 of us, they're going to say, yeah, well, y'all come back when y'all ready to go to war, when y'all really ready to post up. So that's what it's all about. That's what UPA is all about. So I'm going to introduce Brenda Allen again, the president of Urban Progress Alliance. Brenda, good morning.
Good morning, my king.
So
How are you?
I am wonderful, and I'm feeling real good today. Yeah, I had a conversation with an educator, and you find when you have these sort of conversations, you get to understand what's up with our education system and what our people are being taught. And so I brought a realm of metaphysical to the conversation, and the educator, who is a very intelligent woman, said, a scientist. And she thought about some of the things that I was saying and took it in consideration. I need to investigate more. So we're going to talk about that. That's almost another show. But Brenda, you've been involved with UPA for several months now, and you've been reorganizing it, setting it up, recruiting people, and opening up channels, opening up doors so that all the people that go sign up with UPA, we can work with you. We're going to correspond with you. We're going to start looking at your personal situations and going from there. But Brenda, tell us more about yourself and where you're from, how you came to Tampa, and what is the vision of UPA.
Very good. I will tell you a little bit. Former IT training supervisor with the Los Angeles Unified School District. I've had a 25-year career there, and it was most lucrative. I relocated, though, to Florida in 2012 by the divine intervention, saying I must relocate to Brandon, Florida in particular. So that's what I did. I joined UPA and the Ma'at, because the word Ma'at means a whole lot to me. And those are certain principles I practice. And as I was scrolling Facebook, trying to find a place that teach these principles in Florida, I happened to find your Facebook page in February, and you invited me to your meeting, and that's how I became involved. So with that, over the following months, I became very much involved using my time, volunteer time, and my resources to help UPA, because it's a worthy cause. It's a very worthy cause. And it's where I'm supposed to be, to bring and to help bring unity and our community, our Black community, back to its empowering position in Florida, and in particular West Tampa, which is where the projects are that we're working on. So I'm very excited about being a part of this very miraculous group, and we are attracting like-minded people as a collective, as you said earlier, that will come together, join UPA, and help us relift, revitalize, rejuvenate our Black community, regain our wealth, regain the balance that we need to have on our planet, helping to shift the paradigm. And we do that with our collective mindset. So with that, yours and my power, and the power with Betty and Carolyn and Eugene and Andre Jr. and Darian and Renetta, all of these groups, all of these people bring together to help bring our prosperity. So with UPA, when you join this group, you will be involved with creating a new grocery store that will be built in the West Tampa area. We will also be involved with creating a gateway to Africa and the Caribbean. And with that corridor, we will have a vision and a tourism theme that will accentuate our heritage, our culture, and all of everything that pertains to our African ancestry. So it's exciting work. For me, it is. I wake up every morning thinking about what do I need to do to help the Urban Progress Alliance move forward in our endeavors. So we're busy. We need the help, of course, and even just bringing a simple skill set like being able to type will help me post a letter or get a message out, help us build our radio station. All of these things we will bring to the West Tampa. And I'm so excited.
Absolutely. So, Brenda is from LA. I can say I'm not taking away, but I use the term. She's an LA girl.
Not a Valley girl.
Not a Valley girl.
LA.
She's from South Central?
South Central LA.
That's what I'm talking about. So, this is not just a West Tampa thing. This is not a city of Tampa thing. This is not a Hillsborough County or a Florida thing. This is a universal movement. And you don't have to be from Tampa to get involved with this. West Tampa just happened to be the epicenter for this paradigm shift. And so if you're out there, you're from Chicago. We have people from Chicago. We have people from all over that's joining UPA because they see the vision.
Yes.
And the vision is very clear. White supremacy has run aground because they can no longer maintain it. And here's the most powerful thing, Brenda. I found out the source. There is a general, with what we will call advanced technology that's operating and manipulating this whole game. And that general, it manipulates our Caucasian brothers and sisters into believing that white supremacy is going to protect them. But now, since white supremacy is not working anymore, that general has pulled out all the stops. So the coronavirus don't look at skin color. Now he might share for exchange for your soul some antibodies to use, to keep from dying. But we also have that here at UPA. We know the various natural formulas that can beat this virus until we come up with a natural way, not Bill Gates or Fauci, Anthony Fauci's vaccines, because it's real suspect. Why they all of a sudden pushing this vaccine? Yeah. Why they gonna have it come out in December if this virus just showed up? It takes years and years to develop a virus because you have to experiment. You have to have all of these trials. You don't know how all people are gonna react. There's 144 different human personalities, and they all react different to different chemical formulas. So until you can come up with an effective virus, it takes years. So for the come all of a sudden to have one ready now coming out in December, that's some straight bull frackernicle. Okay? And if you line up to go get injected with that virus, with that vaccine, I don't know what to say. I'm not doing it. And what we need to be preparing for, any legislator, any politician that advocates that if you don't take this virus, you can no longer trade or get benefits from our government, they need to be locked up on site. We need to prosecute and have our own community courts, tribunals, and lock them up right now because we know they're part of an agenda, an unnatural agenda that is not good for human beings on planet Earth. So, go ahead.
I will not be taking the vaccine.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so that's what we are. That's what we're here about at UPA. And one of the things that Brenda was basically talking about is signing up. Right now, there's no membership fee.
No fee.
Right. All you have to do is go online. So, Brenda, tell them how to make contact with us.
Well, you can actually go online if you are willing to do that. We are at upaall.com. And you can also, if you're old school like I am, give us a phone call. And we have two phone numbers. You can reach us, 813-324-0915, or you can call 813-358-6382. Again, 813-324-0915 or 813-358-6382. And I'll be happy to share any information with you. Take in your skill level, take in what you'd like to offer as part of joining our group. And we will certainly have some work for you to do, and we would love to bring you on board. what we are in need of now would be a corporate secretary that can help assist with letter writing and a skill set of that nature. We are also building our HR, human resources committee and staff, and we will also will need a treasurer. And we're looking forward to bringing on others that will support in whatever area and skill. Bringing on technicians for broadcast station as well. So on the website, we will list the jobs that we have available and the description. So please go out, check out upall.com and sign up. There are registrations for the Gateway if you'd like to work with the Gateway to Africa and the Caribbean. Sign up to support that effort. And also, if you'd like to just become a straight member, volunteering your time and helping to support us, we would certainly appreciate it.
So the Gateway to Africa and the Caribbean plan, this is the program that's going to connect all Black Aboriginal people from the African diaspora. And the way we're going to connect is, you know, we have all been colonized. Africa has been colonized, all of the, you know, by a wicked agenda. And I have discovered when I found out who that general was, and I'm going to share this with our men and women that joins us. I'm not going to share it right now, but I'm telling you, it's a general, and this entity is very old. Now, for a lot of you people that believe, to my brothers and sisters still believe in fairy tales and you know, that sort of thing, and you want to say, oh, it's the devil, and there's a man down in the hole in the ground with a pitchfork waiting on you. Okay, so this entity is on that level, but it's not that fairy tale. This is a real entity, and in the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie Predator, he said, if it bleed, it can die. This entity can die. All right. So it's manipulating and maneuvering because it was given. It's a subcontractor that our ancestors hired this entity to test us, to force us to come together as one, to evolve to a level of spiritual benevolence, of understanding three basic principles. All men are created equal. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and love your fellow humans unconditionally. That's what our ancestors, our guardians, our creator did. It hired this general, and this general is wicked. He is so wicked that Caucasian people fear it. All right, and this is a documentary and some research that I did, and because this entity look at Caucasian people like apes, like very primitive apes, and it manipulates them. It gave them the technology to get in a position to colonize this whole planet, but that was all part of a grand scheme. So now I'm like a general here, but I serve the Most High, and I'm melanated. I ain't pale like this entity, and I serve, and so a lot of people, and this is a conversation, Brenda, that I had with this educator. This educator said to me that, you know, we are surrounded right now. They have control of the media. They have control of the monetary system. I said, yeah. I said, that's all part of the test. Yeah. That doesn't mean it can't be defeated. Ask Haiti. Haiti defeated it. You know, Absolutely. They came together, and they still being persecuted because we all in the African diaspora didn't go and support Haiti the way we should have. But let me explain to you how you defeat this entity. Yeah. Okay, so you don't defeat it with trying to get more technology, because your creator who hired this subcontractor has more advanced technology than it. Case in point, found out that our United States military was working with them hand in hand in providing parts for their equipment of advanced technology. But they would only let them get so much information. Because why? Because this general know that Caucasians, are part of the human diaspora, and they're not going to, at some point they're going to wake up to find out that this entity don't have nobody's best interest in hand but their species. All right. So the point I'm getting at is we're being forced to come together as a species. Black people, you've been getting kicked in the butt the longest, so you are at the forefront of bringing this together. But when you come together and implement this plan of defeating this entity that has conquered us through divide and conquer, when you come together and demonstrate, then our ancestors, our guardians will intervene with their advanced technology. That's how we beat it. All we have to demonstrate is those three principles. All men are created equal. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Love your fellow humans unconditionally. We don't even need to be getting mad at the Caucasians that done these crazy things, hanging us, raping our women, mutilating us, to try to create fear. That's gone. That's done. We don't fear that anymore. That's why the Klan don't ride around with the sheets. They know they'll get their ass whooped, And so that fear factor has gone. So now that's why the end game is in place. And end game it's not looking at skin color. It's looking at us as a species. So when we come together, even you Caucasian brothers, okay, get out of your white supremacy mind, get out of your white people security blanket, and join the human race, because if you don't, you will be destroyed. That's guaranteed. Even in the so-called King James Version, it explains you will be destroyed. Right. So you have an option, a choice now. You can join up. You can bring your resources. You can bring your resources to UPA, because guess what? Now I got a lot of my own hometown black folks. Oh, well, what are y'all doing? We're doing everything we can with the resources that we have. And this entity is going to try to deny us every step of the way. But we people are joining us. Our greatest resources are numbers right now.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's the force field that's around us that's so phenomenal, so great, that we are already successful. So we triumph in the knowledge of knowing that we have the highest power of divinity that's right here with us, and it's helping us to evolve and to make this paradigm shift from the negative to the positive. We balance the paradigm. And to do that, we have this collective mindset. Our greatest weapon, Andre, is our mind. And that's what the colonizers have always tried to destroy in us, is our mind. When we were brought over from our native African motherland, the things that they wanted to strip us of was our culture, our heritage, our language, our mind, and everything else that pertained to what we knew as a Black culture, as African people. So we bring those things back to our understanding and to our remembrance, so that we will be able to create a positive polarity on this planet, and that we will bring a utopia to our future generation. And I could see that, the end game. We're winning. The end game will be a utopia for our children and generations.
Absolutely. So would you conclude also that this economic system, this current, the one percenters who are submissive, that have submitted themselves to this general, who can bleed, who can die, okay? So wouldn't you agree that the economic manipulation game that they put in place is all an illusion, and that all of us that buying into how we gonna get this money, and so that I can get me some rims, some bling bling, or live in this big house? Don't you see all of that as being crashed, and that all the people that are sitting on this so-called wealth, now that illusion is in jeopardy?
When the curtain comes down from the Wizard of Oz, right? The man manipulating everything that's going on, that fairy tale. That's what we see happening at this point. So we will create our own vision of equality, justice, peace, joy, happiness, harmony, balance, order, reciprocity, and prosperity. Those are the principles of Ma'at. Those are the principles that our ancient ancestors practice, and we need to bring those back, and that will bring down those institutions of racism, institutions of white supremacy, institutions of police brutality, and all those that support those.
I get it. So this is worldwide. So again, part of the gateway to Africa and the Caribbeans, and why we are working on dispelling colonization and white supremacy. A lot of our African nations, are in the same predicament, and they're being invaded by, China, and China would load up a plane full of monopoly money, fake money, fly into African nations, find out who the finance ministers are, and say, look, I give you all this fake money that I got from the United States or European, the euro dollar and all of that's going to give you power and wealth over your people. You, ego, personally, selfishly, and these African leaders will go and sell out their people so that they can have bling bling. They're starting to assimilate to this sick culture that we had here in this country. So what we're doing with this gateway to Africa and Caribbean, we're going to set a new standard for
Indeed.
all of the nations of the African diaspora. We're going to set a standard of transparency and integrity. All right, so I don't care where you are. You in one of them countries in Africa, if you're over there selling out your people and still submitting to this white supremacy European ideology, you are jeopardizing your soul and your people. We're going to break. We got 3 minutes. Yeah, and so what we're doing here in the U.S., there are good Africans that want us to come back with technology. They want us to come back with social structures and spirituality, not given to us by a slave master, but given that was left in the pyramids hundreds of thousands of years ago by our ancestors. They want us to go back and do that research. Black ministers, get on a plane, get on them jets you've been buying. Go back to Africa and do the research. Go into those pyramids and get the true history of Earth and the evolution of mankind.
Absolutely. Our greatest asset is our integrity, and that's what UP stands for. However, going back to those principles of Ma'at, let me just say that there are a few things that we have brought to the world as Black people. There is an oath to the ancestor, and I'll just read a few of them. The oath says, ancestors, blacker than 1,000 midnights, African ancestors, it is you that we, your children, give respect and honor. O ancestors, we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, let your presence fill this place. O ancestors, we have been purposely excluded from the history books so that the world will not know of your greatness. O African ancestors, who gave civilization to the world. African ancestors who gave the arts to the world. Our African ancestors who gave music to the world. Our African ancestors who gave the sciences to the world. Our African ancestors who gave mathematics to the world. Our African ancestors who gave medicine to the world. Our African ancestors who gave literature to the world. Our African ancestors who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors who gave God consciousness to the world.
Yeah. Well, keep that thought going because we're going to go to break. And Brenda and she'll be back in just a few minutes. So we're going to continue with this platform. And after that, then we're going to bring in Betty Harris, who is a local hometown girl, and we're going to talk about our community cabins. Stay tuned. This is Straight Talk Morning Show.
Touch Radio is smooth soul.
Rocking your radio on the sounds of soul.
Playing your favorite R&B. In Touch Radio.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
When it comes to reality radio, everyone is a star.
Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
On your smooth soul and R&B station.
On the World Wide Web.
In Touch Radio.
All right. This is the Straight Talk Morning Show, and my name is Andre Hill. I'm the senior. We have a junior. He's out in the other part of the studio because of COVID virus. We have to switch up. And we have in the studio today Brenda Allen, the president of Urban Progress Alliance, the new president. She took my job, and they put me out to pasture so I can go preach and explain to people why you need to get with Brenda, because Brenda, they're setting a format and a program that's going to resurrect our people from the brink. So, Brenda, you was reading some African proverbs that was sounding real well. It was empowering me. I'm just, you finished?
There are a few more.
Go ahead.
That we should share with our listening audience. And it says, Ancestors, we thank you for developing your life to make a future for us, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and let our enemies be scattered, and give us the wisdom and the boldness to deal with our oppressors and those who would hinder the liberation and empowerment of our people. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us, and we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you. We will not betray you. And we use the word ashe that says, so be it.
Hey, ashe. So this is what I do every day as a black man. I allow those spirits to possess me. The good spirits, yes. the benevolent spirits, the ones with the most advanced technology that hired that general. He's a pale-skinned demon. Well, somebody told me, don't call him demon. He's just doing his job. Because we, the children of the planet Earth, we had this whole planet given to us on a silver platter. And just like any child, we messed it up. So we burnt our hand on the stove, so we know now the stove is hot. Right. So don't take it as, oh, we messed up. All right, take it as that was a lesson. This is a lesson. But how are you going to continue? Black men, our women are ready. Black men, are you going to continue with a cowardly stance of going to negotiate with this entity for favor, for your own selfish agenda? Or are you going to join a collective? That collective order, what Brenda just read, that didn't say Joe Blow independently. That says us, we. We Indeed. Have to come together. Stop, black man. I don't care if you got $5, if you got $3, You can go online. They can go online and donate to UPA.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell them how to do that.
You can go to upaall.com and right on the front page or on the donate page, there is a place for you to send your money if you'd like to donate for us.
So if you still, as a black man, you still sitting back, well, Andre Hill, he might, worrying about. Now, I'm not working for Andre Hill. I'm working for the Most High. I am a 24/7 servant of the Most High, who it was put here to serve the Most High's children, my brothers and sisters. So I'm not going to negotiate because I want to drive a Rolls Royce. I've seen that stuff. It's nothing. I don't need to live in no 12-room mansion. I don't have to have my own private Learjet. All that's an illusion. I'm not doing this for that. I'm doing this for my soul, first and foremost, for my children, for my family, my immediate family, and extended family. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Are we getting a different outcome? No.
Not yet.
By going along with this bull crap. And so now the bull crap is getting ready to say, because of people like Brenda and starting to speak up. Hey, this game is up. So now that entity, they pulled in the rope. They pulling out all the stops. They don't care about skin color. They care about the position they had on this planet, taking resources from this planet. And that's the end game. So if you sitting back, well, no, this whole economy is about to be crashed intentionally, because all of those people that maneuvered around the barriers and came together and started to make they're like India. There are people in India making some big cash, and they're coming to the U.S. buying into this European economic design. I'm going to come in and monopolize you because, they bought into that. And they don't realize that entity and this monetary system, they're going to pull the rug right from under their feet. And then what happens? Your soul is in jeopardy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but what UPA will bring to fruition, we will be developing programs to help our people in the current home buying process that we're utilizing. We are also looking to bring in a branch of One United Bank, which is the largest Black-owned bank in the nation, that will provide home loans and business loans to our people here in Florida. So we're also developing programs to train you in business development, because we'll need those skills. We'll need you in the business world. We will also build an African Learning Center. And with that, we'll learn those principles of my art much better. And we will also, Andre, we'll bring a code of ethics back to our people. A code that says we must respect each other, aside from the 3 principles that you initiate. Also, we need to have that code of ethics so that people have pride again, and pride in ownership, and pride invested in their communities, so that we keep our communities safe, and our communities clean, and our communities happy, and our children are safe, and nonviolent environments. We need to bring all of these entities back, and that's what will create the balance that we are seeking, that is bringing the positive into balance with the negative. So UPA, we have a lot of work to do, but it's all the good work that we are doing that will make the difference.
Absolutely. So that code of ethics is very critical, because I practice it every day. You can't lie, cheat, steal, and if you're married, you can't sleep around with married men, married woman, whatever your sexual preference is. That builds a force field around you. If you're in power and position, and you're breaking those codes, and you think you're getting away with it, listen to this. that general that I talked about, he's got the most advanced technology, and they know everything you are doing. And the minute you try to go do something for your people, he will bring up those tapes, those videos, and say, you ain't going to do nothing for your people because I got you on tape. I know how you broke the code, and you are mine. So now, let me say this to you. You're going to have to repent at some point. You're going to have to change your ways at some point. So you might as well do it now because the end game is in place. And you know, all that money you've been getting under the table, thinking you getting away, you slick, you done outsmarted everybody, all that, you're going to have to pay for that. It's guaranteed. I promise you it's guaranteed. That general, and I know who this entity is now. I got my confirmation. And in the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, if he bleed, he can die. All right? And so that means that we can do the same thing it can do. Or in the words of the Christ, you too can perform these miracles or even greater works. All right. So that's where we are. That's what we need to implement. And so we're going to move on. We're going to take a break outside of the In Touch News. You keep running the wheel. So, but we're going to switch up and we're going to bring Betty Harris in. She's a local hometown girl from Tampa, and we're going to let her talk about the community captains, and wherever you are in your community, how you need to sign up with us. And while we're making that shift, I'm going to tell you about one of our sponsors, and that's Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food. And they're located at 2302 East 7th Avenue. And their telephone number is 813-515-5036. They're opening just on Saturdays and Sundays right now. But what we need to do, black people and Caucasian people that wants to see a change, go in when they open up on Saturdays and Sundays. Let's fill up that restaurant, because then that gives them the confidence. Okay, we can start expanding those hours now. Stop going to them fast food joints and spending all that money. Go by and buy some. They have a wonderful menu, a beautiful decor. You can dine in, or you can go sit out on the patio and eat. They have everything. These are some beautiful black people, talented. But they need the confidence with all this COVID virus thing. They need the confidence for you to go and support them. So go by there, talk to Jackie. And let her know you want to rent the outdoors, or you can rent the space. It's a beautiful restaurant, and the food is good. So, but they need our support. Go instead of going to them other joints that don't reciprocate back in your community. Go to Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food. That's on the east side of Ybor City, right across from I always forget the name of that bar. Broadway, the Broadway bar right across the street from. I'm advertising for them too. Go in there. They'll be open this morning at 11:30. Go in there, tell them you heard about the restaurant on Straight Talk Morning Show, and spend some money with them. That will give. My family ran a restaurant business for a long time, and when people don't come in, even your food is good, but people start, if they don't come in, you be sitting there wondering, am I doing this? Why am I doing this? They need the confidence. They need your support. So go in there and talk to Al's Finger Licking Good and order some food. And we these people, they have some good information. As a matter of fact, one of the owners, she is very intelligent, and she knows a lot of things. I go and buy and get information from her about life and housing business. So go by Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food at 2302 East 7th Avenue. Give them a call at 813-515-5036. We have to support our black businesses in these very tough economic times. I shouldn't have to say this but one time. We should be calling up. They should be running out of food on Saturdays and Sundays and say, look, we're going to extend the hours to Friday through Sunday, and then sell out those days, and then they'll open up. Back in the day when I was running, my family ran a restaurant, we stayed open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So I have a slight phobia about working in restaurants now, but still, I learned a lot of things. So go and support them, and let them know you heard about it on the Straight Talk Morning Show. Okay, so now we have another member of the UPA staff, and she's a hometown girl, and her name is Betty Harris, and she's working with the accounting division, but she's also working with the Community Captains Program. Now, what is the Community Captains Program? We need all of our communities connected. We need to know who you are, who you're spending money with, who you're voting on. And that community captain is going to get that information. We're going to get resources for that community captain so they can get resources for their community. But Betty, say hello, introduce yourself, tell them about you, a hometown girl, what high schools you graduated from, and just tell us a little something about yourself.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Betty Harris. Homegrown, like you said, raised, born right here in Florida. And I've worked in corporate America for at least the last 30 years or so, predominantly in the accounting arena and fields, and that has been my forte. Glad to be a part of the UPA Alliance program because there's so many things that are being offered right now today that are going to help our children with their future. Because if we don't start doing this now and we don't pull together, there's not going to be a future for our young folks.
Absolutely. So, so what you graduated from which high school?
I graduated from Plant High School.
From Plant?
Plant High School.
How you come?
Plant, class 86, yes.
So did you have to come from way across town to go to school? Or?
No, I didn't. I got bused. My bus stop was at the end of the street. I grew up in Hyde Park area, Hyde Park / West Tampa back then.
Yeah.
And I attended HCC and took some classes there and pursued a degree in business. And I know so many people because I have brothers that were raised and born and raised here, that went to school here, that worked here, and that have been a part of the community forever. Although they've passed on, I'm still carrying the torch. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So, see, now the beauty of this with UPA, I had to move away for a long time, and Betty was still here, and she's been a very helpful component to the UPA movement because she knows who's who, what's what, and she's going to help connect the people that we need to be a part of this. Again, people, there's only two ways to do this. Go in and sell your soul to black people that's been put in a position to control your destiny, and I promise you, they are not going to do right by you because they have no respect for you. Number one, most likely, and not saying, Brenda is a transplant. And I'm not saying anything negative about transplant, but if you were hired to come in here and put in position to control our resources, you were hired to put blackface on racism. That's just the reality of the situation. It's unfortunate, but at least wake up to understand that we know this now, and we're going to give you a pass if you wake up and let your master know that we're not going along with this, or if you continue in that direction, the local people going to raise up, and going to say, what's wrong with this picture? And that's the reality. But you've been here the times that I was away. I was kind of like on what they call a walkabout, I had to go get exposure to other cultures, whether it was in Brazil or Jamaica, the Bahamas or California or New York. I had that exposure. I haven't had any exposure in Africa. That's what we're working on right now. But in my soul, in my DNA, I'm connected to Africa, so I know what's going on. But what I also know is they're losing the African culture, and they're starting to assimilate to the American European culture, and that's hideous. When you watch those African soap operas, I'm going like, that's the same crap we're doing here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So part of what UPA is going to do is build a standard, build stories based on what really happened in the past, what really has been happening with our personal stories. That's what we want to promote and how we're going to overcome it. But to start assimilating to devilish, demon, the backstabbing, I'm going to do you this way and do you that, man, that's a scary nightmare.
And UPA brings about that change for us. And I think that the more exposure that we get, the more community captains, which we're going to call them our pulses, we're going to call them our ambassadors, they're going to be the leeway into every community so that people can have access to food, they can have resources, housing resources, training and education, job information and training, credit, banking, anything and everything that we need to survive and we need to pull together and group our resources will come from UPA and these community captains.
Okay. So do you have your own email address, or do you want to direct them to, well, they can always go to the UPAALL.com page and say, I want to be a community captain. Do you have any other ways you want them to reach you?
Yeah, they can reach me at my email address, which is harrisbettyl05@gmail.
Okay.
And if they need to make a phone call, it's 813-455-5002.
And Betty knows everybody in Tampa, right?
I do.
So what we have here in Tampa, I love my Tampa people, but I also love my black people from all over that's joining us, because we got a mixture of all kind of people. It ain't just for Tampa people. But our people in Tampa, they're going to be the last ones to show up, right?
No.
Okay.
We're going to pull together and get this right. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking.
We're in it to win it. We're in it to win it.
So one of the things that, I was telling you about this conversation I was having with this educator, and black men, listen, man, if you're just going to sit back and say, I hope y'all fail, I ain't going to do, if you ain't going to do nothing, send $5 to you, go to UPAALL.com, and that will, even just sending $5, that gives us monies to pay people like Betty, get computers and resources. Because right now, that general is instructing his puppets to not give us any money. They're going to fight us every step of the way. And we have our own Negroes talking about, well, what are they doing? We're struggling. We're preaching and we're struggling. We need money. We need resources. And, it requires you, even if you're going to sit back and be a pessimist, still donate $5 and say, well, look, I'm going to donate this $5, but what Andre or they just going to take the money and go run off with it and buy some this and that. No, at least give us a chance, an opportunity to prove to you we're going to do the right thing by your $5 investment. If you don't want to put in $100 or $200 or $300, just put $5. And that's going to put a down payment on the resurrection of your soul, even in your negative state of mind. Just give us a chance and say, see what I gave them the money, and see what they did. You know what you're going to end up saying? They did the right thing. Yeah, because this ain't about us personally. This is about our babies, man. I'm telling you, based on my 60-something years on this planet, our children were not taught critical thinking skills. And this general, who's 500, 600 years old, I'm giving y'all some hints on this, but when y'all sign up with us and get hooked, I'm going to tell y'all about who this general is. They are playing us. They are playing us. And our babies don't stand a snowball's chance in hell up against these systems that were put in place by that general. And if we allow our babies to have to fight this general because we are cowards, because we still trying to figure out who's going to be in charge, woe unto our souls. So, hey, that's how much we got, Anime? 2 minutes. So I'm saying get with Betty. So, Betty, tell them as much as you can about the community captains.
Community captains are going to be the pulse of the communities that need services for us and our people to pull together. We are going to be doing everything we can to give all of our communities resources. We're starting with the West Tampa community specifically, but for every community where we live, where we work, where we need to grow and develop so that we can be self-sufficient and not have to depend on the things and the systems that have been put in place to trigger us and to trick us into giving time, talents, and resources to. So if you come to UPA, if you become a community captain, you're going to be exposed to every resource, every type of financial gain, anything to sustain a whole community is what the community captains are going to be providing. And we're going to help them do that.
Absolutely. And also, you're going to graduate as a community captain to a world ambassador, because we need you to go into these African nations to teach these basic principles that they are waiting on us to bring back. Okay? And so you get your start right in your own neighborhood. You learn how to go and talk to people. You're going to learn how to access information, financial information, spiritual information, the true history of planet Earth, not that bull frackernackle that was taught to us by them lying ass people. We're going to get the true history and teach our babies the true laws and principles of this planet. So it's a great opportunity. You get involved. We're going to work on getting you resources. We're going to put on events in your community so that you can share information, knowledge, and get a database together so that we can let our people know who are working against us as a politician or as corporate America. If those companies and those politicians are not reciprocating, we ain't going to spend money with them, and we're not going to vote for them. Is that can I get an I say on that?
Yes, you can.
All right, this has been the Straight Talk Morning Show. My name is Andre Hill, and my guest today has been Brenda Allen, the president of UPA, and our deputy or our CFO, Betty Harris. And get with us soon. We'll see you next week.